don't be tribal, right? This goes back to confirmation bias. People tend to congregate in tribes. We tend to hang out with people who think like us. We tend to believe that people who spout the same positions, people who we agree with politically. This is our tribe. Well, tribalism is a scary thing because it allows us to think of each other in collective terms. Once you think of somebody else as a member of a collective, now they're either an obstacle to what you want or they're a tool for what you want, but they're no longer an individual. Tribalism immediately says, if you're part of my tribe, I treat you well, right? You're a member of my family, I'm going to treat you better than a stranger. But our whole goal in society should be to treat everybody as a family member to the extent that that's possible, and that means not being tribal. It means looking at whether we are treating everybody else as an individual created in the image of God. And if we are, then we are a better person, and we're more likely to convince people in political argument. So here's the deal. All of this stuff, all of these little tips, they are designed to help you destroy leftism, because the truth is that leftism itself stands in stark opposition to many of these principles. Leftism itself does not believe in non-tribalism. Leftism doesn't believe in individualism. Leftism doesn't believe that you have a duty to protect others. They believe the government has a duty to protect you, right? The leftism doesn't believe that you shouldn't think of yourself as a victim. Leftism believes you should think of yourself as a victim because you are a victim, and only the government can correct all of these flaws. In fighting leftism, it requires you to be virtuous. Live out the life of a conservative, and you will be a better person. Live out your ideology in everyday life with the people that you deal with. You're going to be a better person, and you're going to be a better advocate for your position. It's good to advocate for positions. It's better to live out those positions, because the truth is, most people in your life will not be affected as much by the political arguments you make as by the life that you lead. People are going to... Yes, hit back when appropriate. Yes, argue to the best of your ability. Yes, don't couch your language when it's necessary to be as blunt as humanly possible. Yes, do all of those things. I do it for a living, and I love doing it for a living. But more than anything, when it's my time, after 120 years, when it's my time, it's... And my kids are at my funeral. What I hope that my kids are saying is not that I made really great political arguments. What I'm hoping they say is that I lived out a life that is worthy of emulation. And that should be, if we all do that, if everybody in this room goes out and lives a life worthy of emulation, that in and of itself is going to be the single greatest factor in helping conservatism come back in the country that anybody could imagine. The founders believed this. The Bible believes this. I believe it. And I think if we all believe that together, then we can make a real difference. Thanks so much. Happy to take your questions.